All right, and here we go. It says we are live. Hello, my Ohana. Thank you for joining us with Not Quite Right. We have Deb and our special guest down below me, I believe she is Amber from the Cheeky Quilter.
Yay! Hey, everybody.
Amber is here. She is taking Mona's place. And if you do, first of all,
I can't take Mona's place.
Let's see. I dropped her link. I'm trying to see if it comes up, and it might not come up yet because Nightbot has not come on yet, or Chatbot has not come on yet.
Nightbot is sleeping.
But I am gonna start with saying hi to everybody, and then we are going to give Amber a little bit of time to share what she wants to share. Hi, Melanie. How are you? Hi, Deb. How are you? Hi, Denise. Hi, Judy. And hi, Annette. Trying to go down this list. Hi, Awkward Quilter. Me. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for stopping in.
Hello.
Oh, thank you to.
Can you go?
Joe. Hi, Joe. How are you? And there's just kind of a lot of conversation in the chat. Hi, Judy. Did I say hi to Judy? And let me go down, down, down. It's actually turning out to be a pretty Saturday here, so people may be out on the town. So anybody that is going to be watching the replay, thank you for coming. Nancy, how are you?
Ooh, Sandra K's here.
Oh, okay. Sandra K. Hi, Loretta. How are you?
Loretta. Hello, Lynn.
Joy T. Hi, Rudy.
Hi, Rudy.
And hi, Lynn. And I am going to depend on Deb to kind of help with the chat today as well.
Hi, John.
Hi to all the lurkers out. Hi to all the lurkers out there. And for that one special lurker, much aloha and love. Mahalo for watching. You know who you are. Hi, Don. So, Amber, like I said, Amber is from the Cheeky Quilter. I am going to go and find her link since Nightbot's not working yet. And
it did pop up earlier.
Oh, did it? Let me try.
Yeah.
Let me try it again.
Did I check my email? Well, let me look.
Let me try it again and see if it comes up. But Amber, while I'm doing that, go ahead and introduce yourself for people who do not know you. And I'm hoping that you show that one precious quilt that I just love.
Alligator.
Yes.
Marty. So look, I'll explain where Marty is. I don't have him with me today. He's finished, but I could probably pull up a picture. So hey everybody, I see a lot of names that I recognize in the chat. Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Amber, and I am one of the cheeky quilters. My mom and I have, she has a small studio. It's not really a quilting business, but we kind of do things out of her office. As you can see out of her studio, I work out of a bedroom in my home. I've been quilting for about 26 years. My grandmother taught me how to quilt when I watched my grandmother quilt when I was young. She did everything by hand. She had little sandpaper templates that she would draw with a ballpoint pen and cut fabric and then do everything by hand. And she would make just a couple of quilts a year. And I spent a lot of time with her. So I learned and watched, and I just could never understand how she could get every tiny little stitch exactly the same. Like as a child, it just blew my mind. And now I get every stitch exactly the same. Thank you to my machine.
Yeah.
I don't stitch them, but they came out perfect. Stitch length is perfect for me.
And if you have not followed Amber, she's very energetic on her lives. She's very energetic and she does a very good it normally lasts about an hour, sometimes just a little under an hour. And I
Yes.
don't know if you have a set schedule because I just catch it on the pop-ups.
Well, I've only done it about 4 or 5 times now, and it's Wednesday afternoon or evening. It's been Wednesday at 7 p.m. for the last few weeks because that time I think works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just been kind of working out. I think I conflict maybe with a couple of other live streams, but it's the time that works for me. So I
You
don't have a
just
lot
have
of people
to
that
pick.
come and go, which yeah,
You just got to pick and
it's fine.
choose who you actually watch and who you watch on replay.
Right.
Right, yeah.
And Amber, we've had this discussion. Jess has a schedule. There's many people that work full time.
Hmm.
And we had a discussion in the background about the type of jobs. Well, I work long hours and trying to find a time where I'm not dead tired and falling asleep and drooling on camera is really difficult. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of do what the
Absolutely.
best you do the best you can and
Yeah,
appreciate the subscribers that can watch you live and very
yeah,
thankful for the ones that actually watch the replay. Um,
yeah. I
but
I do have an update for those of you who are with me on Wednesday. This is the second time I do this, and I know there's a few of you that were on and helped me. The first time I picked, and this is actually what I'm working on today. The first time I picked a random, the audience helped me pick a number. We averaged the number out and found a page in the encyclopedia and then decided on a pattern on that page. And we picked the fly foot. And so I've been working on making a quilt from um, that pattern. I'm making a quilt with the pattern that my viewers helped me pick. And so that's kind of what I'm working on today. I know the sun's shining on me, but so that's the block, well, part of the block. And this week I couldn't find the book, but we picked a number. And so as soon as the live was over, I went and found Deb, I think you were on, huh?
Yep, I
Um,
was there.
I went and found the page, and y'all, it's so cute. It's the pattern category is people. It's
mhm.
page 108. And so it's gonna end
Okay,
up being a
I'm
baby
gonna,
quilt.
I'm gonna make you big so people can see what you're showing.
Let's see. So it's that the four blocks at the bottom. Let's see if y'all can see like these oh these right here.
Uh huh.
And it's like a lady picking flowers, a guy picking flowers. Like
Oh,
it's
how
so
cute.
cute.
And what's the name of the book for those of you who have not joined your
Oh,
channel?
it's the Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns.
It's a book you would like, Lisa.
Yeah.
2026. 2026. 2026.
And
So
so
hello for I'm just gonna interrupt. Hello everybody that came in. I did see Jim and Jess and Deb helped me out if I missed anybody. I saw Leanna come in.
And Joydy's there, and Nancy.
And so, for all of you that do not know, Mona is celebrating her birthday with her mom, and she went out thrifting today. Hopefully, she'll have a whole bunch of stuff to show on Monday on her live. But I'm going to, and Amber so graciously said that she would join us today. Deb reached out to her, and Amber said that she would join us. We've mentioned that we'd like to have people come on with us on Saturday afternoon. So if you're interested, just email us and we will schedule you on. So, Amber, that the alligator, y'all need to go. You all need to go see her, go to her channel and see the alligator because it is beyond cute.
She's got 2 different alligators.
The Mardi Gras
I have
one. Yeah.
it's the Mardi Gras one is the latest.
Mhm.
And now that I'm gonna check my channel because I know I posted on Instagram, but I
Mhm.
don't know that I put anything. Did I put a short on YouTube?
I saw it on the.
You put Marty
think-
on YouTube.
I think you
did
had a
short.
Okay, I did.
Right. I think you had a
I
short
must have did a short. Yeah. Okay.
because I think I saw
on there.
it.
Sorry.
I think I saw it this morning, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is too cute! I want it."
Yeah. Marty the Gator. It is a short. Yes. I mean, it was kind of a last minute project. My
Mhm.
mom has a Mardi Gras quilt hanging in her studio.
Mhm.
And the museum in the small town where she lives came in and they were like, "Hey, can we borrow that quilt to hang in the museum?" And she, for whatever reason, thank you, Lynn, for whatever reason, didn't feel comfortable. I don't know why. I think she wants to sell it and she liked where it was and it got a lot of attention. And so I said, "Well, I'll make one real quick. I'll just make an alligator, just super quick." And so I did. And it took me about a week. And it turned out so cute. I added a lot of like some fringe and different
Yeah.
things around it, non-traditional quilt stuff. I have some rickrack on it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I wanted to put some glitter and things like that and some sequins, but I had to give it over. So it's currently at the name of the town is Gaydon, and it's spelled Gueydan. And it's just a little small town, less than 2,000 people in South Louisiana. And so Marty is hanging up in that museum. And tomorrow they have an open house with some local artists. And so I'm going to go and get some video of it hanging. I'm not sure where they put it, but yeah, I'm
Mhm.
super excited about it.
Yeah, it is really, really cute. And I mean, I like all quilts. I like all type of quilts. I even like modern quilts. I'm not always traditional, but I really like the off the wall quilts too.
She
Because
did a Rosie the Riveter too.
because
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time and talent to be able to just envision it and get it on a quilt. And so kudos.
Mhm.
It's really, really cute. But
Thank you.
do you have any other bigger projects that you're working on besides the this block, the blocks?
So yeah, I have more. I'll at one point I'll go get my. I'm into road signs these days. I make road sign quilts,
Mm-hmm,
and so I have one for a hurricane evacuation route
mm-hmm.
that I need to finish. But it's definitely in my UFO stack right now, and I've got a couple of t-shirt quilts.
Yeah, we just won't go through the t-shirt quilts. Not a fave. Not a fave.
And
There's a lot of people on here that have done or are in the process of making t-shirt quilts. It's not on my bucket list, and I hope nobody ever asks me to make one.
well, and so one of the things that I would like to do, I have done a series on my channel, different parts of making the t-shirt quilts. And so I really started my channel because I thought every quilt has a story.
Mhm.
and I make a lot of memory quilts. So people pass away, and I get
Right.
their stuff and make quilts for family members. And so I wanted to tell the stories of the people in the quilts, and so that's kind of how my channel got started, is telling stories
Mhm.
about all of these quilts. And some of them I've done a better job than others, but that's my goal, is to tell the
Mhm.
story of every quilt. And yeah.
But
Yeah.
now,
Oh, thank you. The Louisiana state flag is pretty awesome too. Yeah.
so
I
there's
lean
one.
into the whole Louisiana thing.
So
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask you, and it's really hard, for people who do not have a channel, it's really hard not to hear the audio portion of questions or see what's coming in the comments. You're just kind of reading it. And I wanted to ask you because you did, I believe it was on your live a couple weeks ago, must have been on your live when you were talking about having been an MC for
Yeah.
and I don't want this to come out like an interview, but since you're here, I can ask you,
Yeah.
have you applied for a position as a full-time MC?
I would love to get paid to talk. So my professional career, I was a teacher. I taught high school PE. Well, and then I started graduate school to be a social worker. So then I like kind of morphed into teaching psychology and sociology and those kind of things. So I was just like all elective. I was like the fun teacher. Um, and then I became a social worker and taught a lot of continuing education. And the favorite thing that I like to teach was ethics. I was like, because nobody likes to sit through an ethics training,
Mhm.
and I love to talk, and I like to be funny. I think I'm funny, at least I try to be. And if I'm gonna have to sit through boring ethics, I'd rather hear myself talk about it than somebody else. And
Right.
so I've done a lot of public presentations and
Mhm.
spoken to groups, but this was the first time I've ever like officially emceed anything, and I had so much fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, from Louisiana, loves to talk, and my hands constantly moving. Yeah. So I love to teach, is
Is
kind of what it draws down to. Yeah.
So my husband's been watching the series and the NCIS, the Louisiana, New
Yeah.
Orleans series, and their talkers on there too. So I can everybody just talks in that show. And I know it's just a TV show, but it normally reflects the population that they're filming at. But
And
you
I've
did.
never watched it.
Oh, really? It's cute.
Yeah.
It's not something I would purposefully go and sit down and watch myself, but it's something my husband enjoys. So I sit there with my
Yeah.
husband and do something else while he's watching his show, and I pretend to follow along. Pretend. So generally we just kind of work on whatever you want to work. There's nothing set, and I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to just talk the whole time, which would be fine. um
I'm good either way. I'm kind of looking at my little stack
mhm,
of half square triangles right here
mhm.
that I'm working on. I've got a couple of things I could cut and sew, so I'm good either way. I'm not good at talking and sewing at the same time.
I'm not either. I mean, that's why we have Jack with us. That's why we keep Jack close. But Deb, I'm going to give you a minute so you don't get on Amber and me, about being a chatterbox.
I'm fine.
What are you working on, sweetie?
That same quill from last week. I finally got all the sashing on the sides. Now I'm
Mhm,
putting the sashing in between the rows.
mhm.
I do have some pictures that Lynn sent me. She's quilting my tea cakes
I'm gonna make you
quilt.
big so you can show it.
Now I gotta find it again.
I'm making you big, Deb.
You're
Deb,
making me
I love
big.
that.
you're big. You are big.
You're making me big. Let me bring this down so you can. Can you see the quilting?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Very nice.
Now let me show you the other picture. I think you can see it a little bit better.
Yes, very
I
nice.
keep going the wrong way.
That's okay. We can see it. Very nice work, Lynn.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's
Yeah.
great. I am impressed.
And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to impress Deb.
It does. It takes a lot.
So
Okay.
I'm
Let's make
from-
it big again.
Someone asked what part of Louisiana I'm from. I'm from Lafayette, which is about right smack in the middle of the southern part of the state. 2
Hi,
hours from New
Crossover
Orleans.
Paranormal.
hi, Jonathan.
How are you?
Yeah. So let's see.
Sorry,
You-
every once in a while I just burst out and say something.
Oh,
Please
that's
do.
you are, if you have any questions for Amber, please feel free to ask and we'll try to capture that. While we're doing it, I do have the shell game going, which is much like Mona's buttons game. It is exclamation mark shells, and you can go ahead and find out how many shells you have, play the game to find out how to play it. It's just exclamation mark slots, and you make a bid of 100, 150. The more shells that you collect, and you can only collect during a live while you're playing, the more shells that you collect, at some point, and I'm thinking April, we will have a giveaway, much like Mona, because Mona and I copy each other a lot. We'll have a giveaway where you can bid your shelves for items.
Yeah, it's more like an auction.
Yeah, it's an auction. So the more shells that you have.
I'm making y'all dizzy. Sorry about that.
I'm looking at it. No, that's okay, Jim. I'm going to look at it right now. So I did let's see if I can find it. I did my Lisa's curves. Oh my gosh. Jim, is it okay if I show it? I did my Lisa's curves block, and I gave out the template to whoever wanted it, and I did do a video for it. Jim actually made it, and so I'm going to find out if it's okay.
He says yes.
Okay, you see that? I'm going to make myself bigger so you can see it, because I'm going to just pull it up on my phone as well. So look at his, let me see. I'm going to try. He made the block. It is beautiful. And he made it into a tote.
That is cool.
I love that.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
great, Jim.
You did a fabulous job. It is so good. It makes my heart sing when I can see people actually making the things you showed them, or especially from something that just pulled out of my head. So that is very, very cute, Jem. Oh, I love it. I'm going to send you my address, okay? It's so cute. Joe, did I say hi to you? So anyway, you can play the
Yo, Patty.
You can play the shell game. I also started a Discord channel. The Discord link will drop every 15 minutes or so. And you can come and hang out. It's much like Mona's and everybody else's Discord. There are opportunities to share recipes. You can get in a sew room and sew together, whether I'm there or not. We are planning a retreat sometime in April. It is going to be during the week. And the only reason why it's during the week, it's just Saturdays and Sundays are slam full of content creators. I mean, and I don't want to take away from anybody that I follow. I don't want you to feel like you can't go and watch them and be on in the virtual retreat. The information will be provided in Discord. And part of the retreat is that I want you to be able to come on and share a craft. It does not have to be quilting. You can share a recipe. You can even send us samples through the mail of food you make. Donna's not here, but Donna makes some bread. Donna makes some bread.
Yes, and we've been following her bread.
Oh, is Donna here?
No, I'm talking about her bread.
Someone said hi to Donna. So I didn't know if Donna was here. And
Donna
I missed
D?
her. Yeah.
Well, we got 2 Donnas,
Okay.
Oh, there she is. She's here. She's here.
Okay. So if you want to join that, when you see the link drop, just go ahead but go ahead and play the shell game. And Deb, do you have anything you would like to ask Amber? Anything?
No, because I already follow her. I was the one that introduced her.
Knows all my things.
Introduced you guys to her.
Actually, Sean. No, Sean. She was on Sean. She was on Sean's live. And I'm going to say
that was kind of my breakout moment.
Yeah, it was about 6 weeks ago?
Yeah,
it was the first week in January.
Yeah. So she was on Sean. All right. And
I met Andy. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I met Andy from True Blue Quilts in October at a retreat. And she introduced me to Sean, and then and I said, I think I want to start doing lives. And he said, come on my show. Mm-hmm. And so I did, and it's been kind of nonstop ever since. Hey, Judy, my friend.
Right. And Sean is great. And that's the guy who sews. Sean is great because he is a great stepping off platform. I know that on Sundays, really anytime, we invite people to come on. We normally drop the link and you can join us. And it's a good place for you to get your feet wet in live, get some of those. Although I still get nervous when I go live. I mean, yeah. I really do, because not all.
You really?
Yeah, because Amber, not all of us were born to be talkers like you.
Yeah, and she says that as she's being motor mouth.
I can talk to you.
Oh, you got called the motor mouth.
I know, but I can talk to y'all because it's like family. You're a lot different around family. When I'm in a social situation where I don't know people or whatever, I generally do not talk. So Judy,
yeah, I never have a problem not talking. My problem is knowing when to shut up.
When I first met her, she didn't talk, and she did not like to. She didn't like to be in charge, huh?
Who?
You.
Well, the real me, the bossy me, has come out, okay? The real me.
Well, you got forced into a situation you didn't want to be in.
Yeah. Well,
and that's where we grow.
But
right?
But even from the worst things in your life or some of the less than luster experiences that you have, growth happens. And here I am, and look at all the people I've been able to meet and communicate with outside of YouTube, the friendships that develop. And I've told you all before that I really do not have family other than my husband and my child and grandchildren. So I get to make connections, and you feel good when you make those connections. So just take it as is.
I heard your Hawaiian intro, Lisa.
Hmm?
I had a friend that lived on Oahu for 5 years, and so I had the opportunity to go and visit twice.
Mm-hmm. What part of
each time?
What part?
The second time we went to Maui.
Okay.
But I've spent most of my time on Oahu, like the 2 times I've been, and
So
I love.
what part of Oahu were you in?
She lives in Honolulu, just near the university,
Okay.
and we traveled quite a bit around the island.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we rode our bikes around the island and camped at
Mm-hmm.
night. That was really fun.
Well,
And
I
I did buy some Hawaiian quilts when I was there.
did you, you know, that is one of the things that I regret. I did not grow up around quilting or people who've sewn, and most of my family has passed on. You know, they're older people, and I didn't appreciate the quilting when I was younger. You know, because
Yeah,
Hawaii hasn't been a state for very long. So there was a lot of authentic things. I mean, I
yeah,
think it became a state just a couple years before I was born. So there was a lot of authentic things, but when you're young, you want new and shiny and you don't appreciate the old. And
yeah.
so I do regret not having any of those items or even thinking about picking it up. To me, it was like, I'm sorry, it was a blanket, you know, it wasn't a
Yeah,
quilt.
yeah.
No, it was a blanket.
And had I not watched my grandmother hand sew,
Mm-hmm.
clearly I got a genetic something to be crafty, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that I would have really gotten the artistry and like how much it takes to make a
Mm-hmm.
quilt and appreciation for it. I know a lot of people cut up old quilts to make different things,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other. Like I'm not mad at people who do it, but I just find it very hard because I can just picture my grandmother, sewing away for weeks at a time just for one quilt.
And you know, there's that actor Tyler Perry, and I've mentioned him before, but I believe it was in a story that he told. You know, he plays that character Medea, and he told a story about this quilt that his grandmother had made. And it was more of their history of their people and where he came from and everything. And the bits and pieces of fabric that his grandmother put into this quilt that he made, and she gave it to him, or he inherited or something, and he would use it to work on cars, you know, throw it on the ground, not appreciate it or anything else. And he said that in one day he realized all these pieces of fabrics were pieces of the past that tied into him, and he tried to restore the quilt as best he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are some quilts that are just in really bad shape and
Mhm.
have a lot of dirt and grime inside the quilt, and or there's you know parts of them that are just irreparable.
Mhm.
And so I mean, I understand that sometimes giving them a second life
Mhm.
is a way to respect the artistry rather than throwing the whole thing away. And so that's why I'm like, I can see that,
Mhm.
that part of it.
You know, we can't save all the quilts, and there's some quilts that there was a quilt that I saw once at a sale, an estate sale, and it was hanging on the wall, and there was no backing. It was just the top of the quilt, and it was just a very basic quilt. It was really pretty. The fabric was really tattered, and it was old. But when you got up to it and saw the hand stitches on it, and your heart broke because it was just, I mean, there was no way to rescue it.
Yeah.
You could not put that top in a quilt without it shredding and deteriorating.
There's
So,
an estate sale this weekend that combined my mom and I got probably 30 people send us links to it. This lady had a long arm quilter and a few other things that I would probably, if I went there, like old quilts, there's a roll of batting like on the wall. And so I think what I might do is go tomorrow at the end of the day and see what's left. Um,
Mhm.
and because they had a lot of older quilts, and so I don't know what I'll do with them, but you know, who knows? I'd rather have them and make a plan for them than have them go to like Goodwill or something like that.
Right, and that's the worst. Is
You never know who. It's scary who's going to end up with them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Deb, Jim said that he loves the colors.
Oh, thanks. Of
So,
this one that I'm doing, this one was just a scrappy old thing.
scrappy old thing. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
really
working.
wasn't into it.
Are you working on the dresses still?
No, I'm done with the dresses. I haven't taken a picture of the dresses yet to post.
No, you haven't. And I'm just gonna
It's on my table
Not like
behind me.
just calling you out there.
listen. So Amber, I don't know how much you listen to Deb, but she's had a cutie. Now I free motion quilt on my I free motion quilt all my domestics, my quilts on my domestic machine. Deb has had a cutie. It is sitting in a box unopened for what, a year now?
Probably closer to 2.
Oh, see, she hasn't even taken it
I
out.
had an aunt like that.
And
She was like, "Ooh, I want that," and she would buy.
it's killing me.
Here's a pic. Here's my picture of Marty the Gator.
Oh, y'all need to go and did it has let's see if that guest thing
Oh, yeah,
works.
that's Marty.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is so
So
cute.
I have 3
Am I like
alligator
a stalker
patterns.
that I know her patterns?
A stalker, no.
And
A
if
super fan.
hell, yeah, super fan.
Super freaky fan. I really like Rosie the Riveter that you did too.
Yeah. And you know what? That was the first foundation paper piece quilt that I made, and it was a small one, and it was so much fun that I purchased a much bigger one. The elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Zer, I'm not gonna be able to remember her name now. Zeruska, I think her name is.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the elephant. The matriarch is the name of the pattern,
Right.
and there's like 30 colors in it, and it's
You're
definitely a long-term project, and I just haven't
are
thought
you
about starting it yet.
you're talking about Verushka?
Yeah,
Is it the one that just won the QuiltCon?
yeah. Was that her that won it with
Yeah.
that
Yes.
the lady? What's it called? Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, the Native
Yeah.
American lady.
Mm-hmm. She does
Absolutely phenomenal.
she does beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Like it took her 5 years to make that quilt.
Oh,
I
let's
saw an
see.
interview with her. She worked on it for 5 years.
How did you mark that onto your fabric?
How did you draw it out on your fabric?
Oh, Marty?
Yeah, Marty and Allie and Rosie.
Oh, okay. So I use SF101, the Pellon SF101. Yes,
Mm,
and it's double-sided, Terry. The best in show. She's
Mhm.
amazing. Yes.
Mhm.
So I have I use Illustrator and I
Mhm.
create something in Illustrator and then
Mhm.
I print it out on a bunch of different pages so that I have the life size
Mhm.
diagram of what it's going to look like. And then I draw it on the Pellon SF-101
Mhm.
and then I cut tiny little pieces of fabric, like, you know, a quarter of an inch by a couple of inches,
Mhm.
and I lay it out in iron as I go. And I call it raw edge quilting. It's collage quilting. Um,
Mhm.
but I like that it's raw edge, and a lot of them fall off as I go, and so I'm constantly having to go back and add more pieces because you can see the Pellon through it. But it's just constantly having to watch out to make sure. And even on this one, as I was quilting it, and I put it actually on the long arm, I had a stack of pieces of fabric on the side of me, and I would put a piece in like as it was going over it so that I have a lot of really like pieces that are dangling and out there and that will fray over time. I fray some intentionally. The Allie the gator has
Mhm.
a lot of intentionally frayed denim
But
on her.
isn't that beautiful? I love texture in a quilt. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like. I like my. I mean, I like all quilts. I love all quilts, and but I like quilts that are dimensional, where they
Hmm.
have a feel and texture, and if a child touches it, it's like they can grab it or rub it, or it's comforting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just that comforting just to pet it. It's like petting fabric. It's like petting
So
fabric.
I
Lisa's
love to
telling
pet
you that
fabric.
she's a child.
Uh, what?
I said, so Lisa's telling you that she's a child.
I can be. I like texture, and um sometimes the work that we do in our everyday life, in the real life, that we would rather not do so we could quilt all the time. Um Everything is black and white. It's you hear the same stories or you do the same thing, and it's repetition, repetition, repetition. And quilting is a way, or whatever craft you do, whether it's paper crafting or whatever, it's an expression, something outside the norm that you can express yourself. And I like to touch people's expressions, which is really weird, but I'm the one that will walk through the store and touch the puffy heart on somebody's on a jacket, in the store.
Hi,
Yeah.
Jessica.
So I love it.
Jessica said she's jumping. Um, she's hopping
I
on to say a real high quick, getting in the car, leaving Daytona Quilt Show.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I know.
I'm jealous. I've
I
never
want to
been.
be at a quilt show
Yeah, I've never
all the
been.
time. I
I've
always
ne-
want to be at a quilt show.
I've never been.
So my
Now, you just participated in what was it? 2 days. You just
oh
participated.
the
Oh,
quilted summit.
yeah, the quilted summit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That was fun. That's where the alley pattern came from. Because it was the name of my session was I can totally use that. And it's like how to use things, random things for quilting, different types of fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of us quilters, I can't be the only one where they say, "Oh, you sew here, take all this fabric from when my nana just passed away," and it's not quilting fabric, and it's all this randomness. And so that's kind of why I do a lot of other than quilt products because I
Mm-hmm.
take all that fabric and I have polyester and I have uh, what is the upholstery fabric and different things like that. And so I do make lots of things other than just quilts. But wall hangings, I mean, you can use all of that for wall hangings.
So Deb, take over for a minute. I'm going to try to give everybody some shells so they can play.
Oh, shells. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you giving them gels for?
And thank you
Half
to
the
all
time
of the
I
people
can't
who
hear.
subbed to my channel. I've gotten a lot of new subs today. And
Oh,
also, I get a new camera when I hit 500 subs.
Uh
So if you guys want to help me out there,
huh.
oh, I've posted you on my community tab before, but I can do it again.
yay!
I
Hi,
I
added.
told my
Rebecca.
husband
I
I
Zaza.
really can't afford a new camera right now, but I'm getting one.
It does help. Your phone works just as well, but I like tech, so I tend to buy tech when it's out. And it does
Well,
have.
I've decided on the one I'm gonna get, and it's one with a built-in what do you call those things that stabilize? So like if I'm walking with it or
Uh-huh.
moving around, a gimbal. It has a built-in gimbal.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I'm like, no, I don't need no camera following me around everywhere I go. You might go off camera to scratch your nose or something, and there's the camera just following you around. I didn't get one of that. Somebody I know, Sewing with Sensations, Susan had one that followed her around. But yeah, so I added some shells. Go ahead and play some shells. Go and win some shells. So that way you will have shells to for the auction when I do the auction. It actually may even be in March when I celebrate my birthday all month. It will stalk you like it did
What
to
kind of
Leanna. It will. It will stalk you. Where are you? Where are you?
So I know there's a lot
Sheila
of
Gage
creators.
has one of those cameras that follows you.
Mm. Does
Well,
she?
it doesn't necessarily follow you, it stabilizes you so that you're not shaking.
That'd be good. I think
Yeah.
I just have mine on a mount. Georgie said
I
Leanna
have
it made her dizzy.
let's see, a big camera, a digital SLR,
Hmm.
50 more for my new camera, and then my phone, but I need a better camera to walk around with.
Hmm. I would like
That
to
li-
be
I'm going,
I would like to be able to see your quilting. Now,
no, that's too dark.
I do not remember. Does your mom come on camera with you? I don't remember seeing one with your
No,
mom. No.
she does not come on camera.
Is she camera shy?
No, she's
No.
not. I don't know why, but I've asked her a couple of times, and
Mhm,
for the live, I think it's more about the live that she doesn't
mhm,
want to do because she
mhm,
does videos with me. In fact, she's working on a video right now.
mhm,
Collectively, we have probably 20 old sewing machines, like
mhm,
older singers and different machines. And so we've collected a lot of different feet for
mhm.
those older machines. So she's working on not really a tutorial, but just a video about all the different feet and what they do. So,
Okay. So Terry, who she may still be on, she refabs and paints the singers, the featherweights.
oh, okay.
And as far as your clothing goes, um, William from My So-Called Life, I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
him. He
Oh,
is
yeah.
he is hilarious. He comes on with Jess often
Yeah.
when they do the night. They twin, and they come on together, and he has this super big collection of sewing machines, some vintage, some not,
Yeah.
and it's always
Well, and
Yeah.
that's us.
He's
Mhm.
got over 300 easily.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
that's crazy. I don't have that many.
he's
I
got a
think we have about 20 together.
I don't have that many. I don't have that many. I have
And
my
mom uses hers. I don't use mine. I just I like all the bells and whistles on my newer machines. But
Mhm.
when we do shows, craft shows and such, we bring the featherweights with us or one and even in a cabinet, and she'll sew things and give them away, and just to,
Oh,
attention grabber, and it works well, and people love it, and everybody wants to tell stories about their grandmas, and so it's fun.
Jim, there is no command for beating the shells. Jess normally wins. Let me just tell you that. I think Jess is the one who normally wins. And then there's heist, and I don't know if you can gamble all. Sometimes it just depends on Chatbot. If Chatbot likes you that day, it will give you shells. It will let you win. I think it's 50 shells to play the shell game is the minimum
I
amount.
got 2 rows together.
Oh, I like those colors.
You're doing good.
That's green and brown. And then orange and blue. And blue. And blue. Red, black, and yellow. And green.
Okay, I love that.
So let me tell you about Deb. Deb takes her time.
Oh, Deb, are you nervous?
No, she's not. Deb takes her time. She does very, very good. She does very well in matching her points and everything else. She takes her time. She loves the process.
Well, don't look at this one because
I'm not looking. Shh. Don't be pointing it out.
Yeah, but these blocks were some of the very first ones I ever made.
Ever?
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been quilting?
And that was just last year.
Did you just start quilting? I didn't know that.
Well, I made a quilt in 2019 for my oldest granddaughter, but I did panels and then I bordered them. And I kept bordering them until it got big enough for me. So that was my quilting for that. And then I made a baby quilt for my next granddaughter. And I did the white blocks and then the sashings and cornerstones. And then I took it over to my sister-in-law and she embroidered little teddy bears on them with her machine.
Oh.
And then she did the sandwiching and the binding for me and the quilting. So all I've done is put plain blocks with sashing up until I started on these. I'm the queen of panel work, let me tell you.
This week at our Quilters Guild, we have, I read in the newsletter, there's going to be panels for sale
Oh, really?
for like, a few bucks in the, I guess somebody donated a bunch of panels. So I'll have to see what they are.
I love panels.
Look at Joy T. Joy T has 12,000 shells. She's always on here, so she gets in when I hand out free shells. I handed out more shells. Play wisely, my friends. Play wisely. Go to Quilters Gamblers Anonymous if you need to. Do not blame me for getting addicted. Do not blame Mona for getting addicted.
That's funny. I don't have that problem.
Of what?
Gambling. Let me
Oh,
see how many shells I have.
I could easily be a gambler. You know, I just have one of those things where you have to buy everything and it's just so exciting.
Yeah, you're addictive.
And so I really have to control what craft or project I get into because I must have everything. Must have everything. See, now y'all got some shells. Y'all need a plan. Deb,
2,875, and I don't gamble my shells.
well,
So
Deb, you
someday I will have a lot.
should someday.
Someday. Did you hear that Forrest Gump accent come out?
I didn't.
I say it must be because of Amber.
So someone's asking, what am I doing for Mardi Gras? So I've already been to 2 balls, emceed the first one. Again, so much fun. Fell in love. They're gonna have to pry the microphone from my hand next year. Next weekend, my family has a spot on a parade route. And then the following week, like Lundi Gras, which is the day before Mardi Gras, the Monday, I ride in the Queen's Parade in my town.
So
And then Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day, I have to work.
So unlike many of us, Amber is very, she goes out in the community and she does. She's not, some of us like to stay indoors. We're allergic to the outside, to the peoples.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I even work from home, so I'm indoors all the time.
Do you work from home?
I do. I actually do, which, working from home has its benefits because you're working from home and you can work in your pajamas or whatever. And I never turn my camera on for meetings, but you don't leave your office. So
Right.
sometimes people think that they can call me at 8:00 at night. Mona tells me to turn off my phone.
Yeah.
But there's certain people
I'm not good at working from home. I've had to do it and I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, I like to work from home. I prefer to work from home. But
I would have loved to have worked from home, but
I work long hours from home. So I can work anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day, which
I would have had to let the public come to my house, and that ain't gonna happen.
No, I don't want no public coming to my house. You don't need to be knocking on my door.
Nope. I don't like that.
Yeah. So, in Italian, let's see. I don't know how to pronounce it. Lundei. So the Monday before, so Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday. Mardi in French is Tuesday, and Monday is lundi. So we call it Lundi Gras. The day before is the Monday, and then Tuesday is Mardi Gras. And so I am partying on Lundi Gras in my parade, and then Tuesday I work because I work for a hospice agency, and it's just not a holiday because people are still sick.
Right.
We don't close our offices because it's a holiday. So, unfortunately,
Giovanni,
I'll be working.
You always call me a workaholic, but here in the U.S., sometimes it's not that we want to work so many hours. It's kind of a requirement of the job. And my position, I have to be available for a set amount of time. But that's fixing to, hopefully that's fixing to change. But I'm not a workaholic because, again, my office is in my sewing room. And one of the hardest things is turning around and looking at all your fabric and thinking of what you could be doing other than working. other than working. But oh, let's see.
Yeah, she wants to be able to pet the fabric and
Yes, we were
smell
on.
it.
Oh, I think we were on. Was it Jess's? No, who's live? We started.
Yeah,
It was
it was
Joe's
just
live. It was Joe's live, and Joe went live, and then Jess went live. And I really brought some fat quarters by me because I was so jealous that they were all, everybody was home for snow days and crafting and doing this and that. And here I was just pounding the keyboards, petting fabric. Petting fabric.
Sometimes I want to bring some of the Cheeky Quilter business stuff along with me.
Mhm,
And I have to intentionally like leave it home
mhm.
because I will do that instead of like I need to chart after I see a patient, and like I know that if I have it with me, I'm going to read that book or look at that list,
Right,
or so
right.
I have to leave it home.
Well, that's one of the things that I've learned to do since working from home because I haven't been quilting. I actually really started quilting when I started working from home, and it was just kind of learning the process because I haven't quilted for that long either. But my whole quilting area, my whole sewing area has to be put up. When I'm done at the end of the day or before I start work, because I will have that thing like, if I just take 15 minutes, I could finish up some
Oh
quilting
yeah.
quilting just 15 minutes here, and I can't do that. That wouldn't be good. So,
I spent a lot of time sewing at the kitchen table and then having to pick things up and put out. I feel so fortunate now to have a room
mhm.
dedicated, but according to my husband, it's growing. I'm taking over the whole house.
Yeah, I'm taking over the house.
So my husband and I actually had this conversation this morning again, and I said, you know what? We sit on two little I call it the magic chairs because as soon as I sit on it, I fall asleep. But
Hmm.
I said it would be so comfy if we just brought those two little chairs in here and brought the TV in. It just would be so close to the bedroom and stuff. And I said, and I will move all my quilting stuff out to the living room. And I don't know what he was saying. He said, "You really want to?" I said, "If you say yes, I will have it done before the 3 o'clock live. I will have it moved." I'm still in my room, so
Sometimes I think like I could come into my sewing room on a Friday
mhm,
afternoon and
mhm,
like not reemerge until Sunday night.
mhm. Yeah, it's very therapeutic now.
I do that every day.
I have to cook, and I have to maintain my home, so and sometimes I need to get out of here since I'm in here so often.
Did y'all see my scissor cases that I made?
We did.
This is the one that Joe made. Put a big one up here and a medium one here and then a little one in the back. Cute. I
Oh,
won
I
that
like
off of
that.
her. I won that off of her channel.
Oh, I like that. And it hangs.
Mhm, so cute.
Yeah, she put a hanger on hers. And then I made two, but I put it so that instead of the one on the back, I put it in the front.
Oh, wrong person. Sorry.
So
I
we
like
got the
that.
big
I like those
scissors
colors.
here, medium, and then the small. Yay! And then I made a third one. We got big scissors, medium scissors, and little scissors.
And they match.
Yes, they match.
I
And
love
then
that floral fabric.
this was one of the dresses from Millie's Dresses.
Oh,
And so was this. This was a dress from Millie's Dresses. And this was a dress from Millie's Dresses. This was just fabric that a scrap I had left over.
What are you going to do with those?
Well, I figured I could put a rotary cutter in one of them.
Jim, if she has her piece of paper following the instructions, she'll give you the. Do you have
Oh
your?
yeah, yeah.
Jim
I'll
wants-
tell you. I'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah, Jim wants to know about the pattern, so I'm going to make you big, and you show that piece of a pattern paper. Hi, Gladys.
It's my brain. I was trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh, it's real easy.
Well, let me tell you, I watched a lot of videos about this. And what it is, it's a regular piece of paper.
8.5 by 11.
Like your copy paper.
Mm-hmm.
And down here on this corner, it can be either corner, it doesn't matter. You fold it up and you measure from the point to the bottom 2 inches. And then you take this side and fold it over to this side and crease it really good, because you're going to use that crease for the next piece. Well, the next 2 pieces. And then you fold the little one over to the crease you just made, and you make that crease really good. And then you take this side and fold it over to that same crease, and you make that crease really good. And then when you fold it up, you fold it that way and this way. And there it is. And then once you put it all together, you just sew down here, across the bottom, and up this side. Now, after you put your 2 fabrics together, right sides facing each other, and then I put a piece of batting on it. And then I cut out this piece with this one with it cut off right here. And then I sewed from here and up and around all the way to right here. And I left an opening here. And then I clipped my corners. And then I turned it inside out. And then once I had it all inside out and the corners all poked out, then I did a top stitch all the way around to close up that opening. And then I just folded and folded and folded and then sewed down, across, and up.
And Jo did mention that she has a tutorial as well on her playlist.
Yes, and I watched hers.
Mm-hmm. So,
hi, Denise.
Denise, yes.
We got our second Denise in here.
Hello.
Yeah, it was the easiest one that I watched, Jim.
Yes, Denise. It's regular copy paper, 8.5 by 11.
Regular copy paper. Nothing special about it. And it was a guy that I got this from.
And I'm going to make one day.
Because some of them that I watched, they were talking about making sure you sew across the bottom after you fold it over. And I'm like, what? Aren't you going to do that when you finish it?
Mm-hmm.
So when I finish it, I just zipped right down here and then across and then back up. And it was so simple. And you notice I have scissor case pattern written on it, so I don't throw this piece of paper away.
Although you would remember it, and
I have 2 inches written down here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can number the folds, because I would get confused.
Mm-hmm. It's like, do I fold this one first and fold it back?
Well,
origami.
You fold the very short edge. You fold the very short edge over to the long side. And then you crease it. and then you open that back up, and then you fold the short side over to that crease there, and then you fold the long side over here over to the crease there in the middle too. Very simple. I suppose you're all going to say I have to do a tutorial, but I don't think so. There was a lot of them out there that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
I must have watched 15 of them. And the very last guy I watched, he explained it very well to me with that piece of paper.
You know, it's whatever that clicks in your mind, because I do that too. I go to several YouTube, or I have a hard time with if a pattern is too wordy, it tends to confuse me, because
Yeah.
it's like, why
Yeah.
can't you just be straightforward? Cut it at a 2.5 and subcut. Don't tell me, well, you have to take this strip of paper or fabric, and then you look at it, and then you have to hold it a certain way and hold your mouth a certain way. And now we're going to cut it this way, but don't cut it that way.
And don't forget, your tongue has to come out too.
Yeah, I mean, those are two. I read all day
While you drink tea.
Yeah, I'm in charts all day, you know, so I don't want to read a whole bunch of complex directions. I want you to say, you need 10 2.5-inch squares, cut 10 2.5-inch squares. However I choose to cut it is my business, you know.
That's right. And
So
he
let me
was really
speaking of
good,
that-
because he kept saying, do it the way you want to do it. I'm just telling you how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to put together a very simple PDF pattern for the quilt block that we've been working on, that we picked together. I can't think of the name of it. The fly foot.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep getting in my head about it. Like, who am I making it for? Somebody who's never sewn before and I got to give all the details? Or somebody who knows how to make a half square triangle and I can say, look, you need 20 half square triangles.
Well, I found
And so
that
I
a
think-
lot of people, if there's a lot of half square triangles, they'll say, and I've already done a tutorial on that, and I'll link it down below.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they'll just keep going.
Yeah, and I like those, you know, on the YouTube where it's just not a lot of explanation, and then you just link a simpler.
Like,
so
if you're a beginner, go learn how to do a half square triangle this way over
because
here.
people like you who have years of experience, and there's multiple people in here that have years of experience, they can look at a block or a quilt and say, I know exactly how to do that. I know how to cut, you know, it's just second nature to them. And so they're
Yeah.
not looking for the detail. They just want to see the block, you know, what blocks, how many of these blocks, how many of these 9 patches did you use? Or, you know, what did you use to come out there? What's the finished thing? Now, Giovanna says, make it for a
Make it for a newbie. And really, this is a very simple pattern, so it would be great
Mhm.
for a newbie. Like, the pattern itself is super easy. Again, it's just half square triangles. You know, and once you learn how to make those, you know how many you need. It's just a matter of placing them. And it's good practice for the points matching up and making sure you have that 1/4 of an inch above the point. So when you sew it, you know, it fits where it's supposed to.
There was
Yeah, I have to say, I like how it worked out with these picking random numbers.
Oh, we did a quilt along, and I'm not calling out the website. We did a sew along a year ago or so, over a year ago. And
over a year ago. And that's where these are from.
right. And the directions on some of those blocks were really, really tough. And that, you know, and like I said, I consider myself a novice quilter yet either. I just kind of play around. But some of those directions were really, really hard. And I actually threw it up on my EQ8 and said, okay, I understand it now because I can see the
Oh,
block and I know what I need to cut. But trying to read the
yeah.
directions, it was like, no.
Yeah, we were relying on Lisa to do that.
Figure it out for you.
Make it in English for us, please.
Yeah, just yeah. So it was
It was challenging.
well, I learned a lot from it too. I learned what I was capable of, and where I had issues.
I've never done a sew along. How does it work?
It's pretty much like a block of the month, and the so long that we did, the so long we did was just, oh, it went on forever, but you just picked a block and everybody sewed the block. And in the end, we put the quilt together, everybody individually put their quilt together. So they used their own colors. They laid it out whatever way they wanted. They finished it any way they wanted. And that was nice. Now the block exchange that we did, the block swap that we did was fun. I enjoyed the block swap. And because I got to get pieces of everybody else, the women
Yeah, that's cool.
the women that participated in that, I have their blocks and it's like a little memory.
She didn't get nothing out of my soul.
No, because you're mean. You're mean. You're mean.
It's mean. No, I don't like swaps because I don't want to have to share my blocks because I don't think they're good enough.
See, Giovanna,
but I bet they are. Giovanna, I'm right there with you. I don't read instructions. That's probably why I'm bad at writing them.
Well, it's confusing because everybody's mind doesn't work the same way.
Yeah.
We don't
Hi,
think
Jim.
the same way. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Thanks so much.
Jim.
Thanks so much for sharing your block. It was lovely. I love it. But yeah, well, and if I don't know if you watch Mona at all. There is something, and I stalked Mona. When we talk about stalkers, even Mona thought I was a stalker. She was suspect of me. But I stalked Mona, and I love the way Mona presents things, is because she's not afraid to make a mistake. She's not afraid to learn from that mistake. And she will do it and do it and do it until she gets it right. And she will do it on camera. And when I first saw Mona, I was thinking, and Deb says the same thing. It's like, it's okay if you're not perfect. It's okay, if you cut off your point, you sew off your point at one point.
Because we have all done that.
Yeah, it's okay. And I hide mine in my quilting. So, you just put a little extra quilting right in that area.
Mona freed my soul, let me tell you.
Yes, it is. It is.
Mona told me, she says, you're doing great. It's okay if it's wonky. And everything can be fudged a little.
Yes, Denise, I agree with you. I'm very thankful for everybody that I've learned from, who I started my journey from, like everybody else. Well, except Amber. We're YouTube graduates, and so many of us have developed our skills from YouTube, and so everybody has a part of that journey. Her ears are ringing. Oh, Deb and I was on Discord. We were on Discord the other day. Well, I was talking to Deb while she was sewing, and Mona had been napping. And the next thing we knew was Mona popped on. I heard a ding. What's going on? What's happening? What am I missing? But yeah,
And the funny thing is, she says that she has turned all the sounds off.
mhm. She's very sensitive to hearing those the sounds. So she heard that ding. Well, she said that she woke up from her nap and turned on her phone, and then it got the ding. So, but
That's funny.
yeah, but Mona's hilarious, and I stalked her for a long time.
I
I
have
love
am stalking a certain long arm quilter.
oh, which
She
one?
has a
Hi,
course that
Jamie.
I'm just not ready to take yet because it's too expensive for me, but I do stalk her.
Who? Hi, Jamie. Which one is that?
Um, oh,
Natalie
now,
Bonner. Natalie Bonner.
but yes. Um,
Yes. I kind of stalk her too. So.
yes, she's amazing. Like she does ruler work and she does such good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jamie is
And
on.
then,
Jamie is on here. I don't know if you know Jamie from the Quilting Compound.
Jamie's here.
mm-mm.
Oh, my Jamie.
If you get a chance to follow her, she creates quilts, scrap quilts and stuff. She makes her own and she shares the pattern. She did one. Um, I get my days mixed up. I don't know if it was earlier this week, and it's beautiful size blocks. It's all scrappy, and it's a beautiful quilt. And she gives you the dimensions. She sews it with you. She walks you through it. It's really good.
What's her
The quilting compound.
Mm-hmm.
the quilting compound?
Yep.
Jamie, if you're there, drop exclamation be kind to drop your link so that way Amber can.
Got it.
Judy Stutz, Natalie. You know, I watch her on my YouTube shorts. Natalie's always on my YouTube shorts. And I sit there and I think, oh my gosh, those swirls are so perfect.
I need to put a big blank piece of fabric up on my long arm and just have fun and practice.
Mm-hmm.
The quilting compound I just subbed. I'm a new sub.
She does unbelievable work. But everybody does. You know, everybody that I follow, they
She's
have
the best with the scraps, though.
who
And I am a scrappy quilter.
Jamie.
she does good scrap quilting. Joe does good scrap
Yep.
projects.
All
Joe,
sorts of projects.
Joe will take the littlest pieces of scraps that I won't even deal with, and she will make cute little crafty things.
hmm
Who's in the locker?
We
Oh, you
I
guys
was
are
at a quilt.
nice.
I was at a quilt. It wasn't a retreat, but it was like a day long sewing with my guild, and all the ladies were throwing away. We were making this. It's called the Blue Onion,
Mm-hmm,
and it's produced a lot of like less than 1 inch scraps, and they
mm-hmm.
were all throwing them away. And I was like, no, give it to me.
Are
So
you,
I
Jamie?
put them. I
So
put
now
them
we
all
know what
together
she
on
makes with
pieces
those
of
little
Kellon.
scraps.
Yeah, and made because you can sew them on, made a collage quilt, and then I have them sitting behind me. I'm gonna make a purse to get or tote bag to for our annual auction that's coming up in April.
Well, you know that, well, you don't know, but I purchased a scan and cut, a brother scan and cut. So I am actually taking my small pieces to make fabric. Thank you, Joe. I'm actually using scrap fabric because I want to make a quilt that I have in my head with applique pieces and different applique things. And that scan and cut's going to help so much because I'll be able to cut some shapes that would otherwise be difficult to cut. You know, when it's
Yeah.
like that you can draw it, but I don't care. Them scissors are not not your friends sometimes.
No, and I do use my Cricut for a lot of my applique
Hmm.
pieces.
So I'm looking. Did you see that, Giovanna? Yes, Rebecca, the scan and cut is awesome. actually, I just played with it for the second time today on a live earlier, and so I'm still learning it, but I am blown away by what you can do with fabric on it. It's just amazing to me.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
It's a zombie quilt in my head. In my head, zombie. Yes,
Zombies?
Sheila. Yes, Sheila. The song "Zombie." Sheila was saying a zombie quilt in your head.
That's one of my karaoke songs.
Yes, I love that. Zombie. Do you like the cranberry version or the other
Yeah.
version?
I
I
don't
like.
know that I've heard another version.
There is another version, and I can't remember what band does it. I like the Cranberries. I like the original. Um,
Yeah.
Giovanna says I stalk Lisa and Deb. You do. You're a stalker.
I was a stalker. The nice kind, though. The nice kind.
Thanks. I don't.
I
Yeah, I don't.
stalked Amber.
I'm a stalker and a
What?
lurker.
There's a lot of lurkers. One of my patients thinks I'm beautiful. Does that count?
Oh, Lori said that she's still a new quilter and she doesn't have that many scraps. Just wait. It will,
Oh,
you have them. You will have them.
I don't have very many.
Yeah.
I have a lot.
Rebecca says it's a
My
lifesaver.
gator's gonna tell me. I had a dream about alligators last night, y'all.
Did you? I wonder why.
So I used to be a swimmer when I was growing up. I was on a swim team, so I swam all the time. So I have this recurring dream. Okay, I'm getting a little vulnerable with everybody here. I have this recurring dream that I'm doing an open water swim, and the alligators are out there coming at me. And I've had people, like different people, try and interpret the dreams. Like I think it's kind of like I have imposter syndrome. So
Oh.
people tell me, and I'm afraid of people coming and finding out and getting me. I don't know. But that's one of my recurring, not
Or
really
it could
nightmares,
be,
because
or
they
it could,
never get me.
it
I
could
get
be,
away. I swim away from them.
it could be you're just afraid of gators. I mean, who isn't? Although
Gators are our friends.
oh no, they're not.
You just gotta tell them, I have a sewing machine and I will sew you.
So
All right.
Terry says I'm a stalker, lurker, chatter. Terry is a
I love it.
blast. Terry is a blast. Y'all know I love listening to Terry.
Yeah.
Terry's accent, because she's from New York and she has a very broad New York accent, and I love listening to it. I just love it. And then Joe has a very New Jersey accent,
Oh yeah.
and I love listening to accents from the North. Now, y'all there in, who was it? Is that Gator guy? You know, the one that did the Gator show from Louisiana?
That's around
Steve
me.
Irwin.
No, not Steve Irwin. It's this they
The
did,
swamp people.
yeah.
Yeah,
Some
they are. Those are my people.
some of them people I don't understand now. They're like,
They have subtitles on them, and they are my neighbors, and I can barely understand them.
yeah, some of them I like watching Swamp People, but there's a couple of them, and it is like they have French and Southern, and then they drop a lot of syllables, and it's all mushed up together.
Yeah. I can throw that accent around if y'all want. Y'all want me to talk like the swamp people for a bit?
You sure can. Joe, I don't think you have a Pennsylvania accent. Yours is a New Jersey accent. I lived in Pennsylvania. People don't sound like you in Pennsylvania.
I need to get my husband in here. He's from Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's been living in Louisiana for 20 plus years, and he still sounds like he's from Texas.
Yeah, Terry, forget about it.
I like the
Hey,
way
does
her
it?
husband says that she's a lazy ironer because she has an Oliso iron that lifts up on its own.
Who?
He said that's the
Amber,
laziest damn thing I ever seen. Hey, does anybody in the Fort Worth area? I'm going to Fort Worth for a wedding next week or in a couple of weeks, and I want to go visit some cook shops.
Wonder where Jamie lives. I'm not
Jamie's
sure
in
what.
Kentucky.
Is she in Kentucky? Why was I thinking she was in Texas?
Don't know. Well, she says y'all really well,
Y'all.
but she's Kentucky.
No, well, I'm trying to think. Who do we know that is in? So Terry, let's face it, y'all do real stuff, and I'm just entertainment. I've been places where people just say, keep talking, keep talking. We just want to hear you talk. Yeah. One of the hardest things is when I moved from Hawaii because I did not know better, having been raised in Hawaii and lived there before, moving around with the military. Is I did not realize I had an accent, that we spoke pidgin, and that we didn't speak like the stateside people. We had our own little language, like the people in the bayou and stuff. But people would ask me to talk because I would just use phrases and stuff, and I never saw anything wrong with the way I spoke. And to this day, there's some things, some sentences I can't put it together because that's not the way I grew up. I still want to say
Hmm.
it the way I was raised saying it in the terminology. Fallon is in
Yeah.
Texas. So yeah, okay, Kentucky. I'm sorry. I don't know why I kept thinking she was. Oh, I bet she goes to Paducah when they do the Paducah
Oh,
belt thing. Mm.
my son is military, and he's in Texas right now, and
Mhm.
he was supposed to go to Kentucky next.
Mhm.
And I was so excited because he was right there by Nashville and it was great.
Mhm.
But, Paducah's not far away. And then at the last minute, he is now going to Kansas, which there's nothing wrong with Kansas, but it's still 14 hours away from me and it's not Kentucky.
Mhm. Because you would have had a place to stay so you could save some money and buy fabric and go shopping. Mama will sleep on a couch, you know what I'm saying? Pull me up a mat, I'll sleep on the floor.
I was like, and people were like, what's wrong with Kansas? I was like, it has nothing to do with Kansas. It's just not Kentucky.
Yeah, yeah. I love Kentucky. I think Kentucky's really pretty. But it's been years since I've been through Kentucky. Jamie said she's 3 hours from Paducah. I am trying to talk my husband into taking a day or two off when for Paducah. I don't care if I just go to the quilt stores or whatever. I don't have to go to the quilt store. I would love it, but trying to talk my husband into it. I'm still iffy about QuiltCon next year in North Carolina. That's just too many people. Too many people.
I told my husband, I said, prepare yourself because I have FOMO so bad. Everybody at QuiltCon, I said,
Mhm,
I'm going to Houston in November because it's only 3 hours from me.
mhm.
I'm making that this year. And also, I'm going to QuiltCon next year. So I better start making some money.
Yeah, I think that
It's not going to be cheap.
yeah, I'd like to go, but of course we would have to do the hotel thing, and I just can't see dragging my husband around QuiltCon. I mean, it's not gonna be exciting for him. It's gonna be like taking
No.
a walk around my sewing room all day long. So I don't I
Yeah,
don't
my husband will definitely not be coming with me on either of those trips.
Hi,
Shirley.
Shirley.
Yeah, or
My
my daughter,
sister-in-law's here.
my daughter and granddaughter could go with me on a trip. We could just go for, drive up and then spend a night and come back home. And that would be a good girls' time. Because my daughter is very artistic. She doesn't quilt, but she likes art. She likes to paint and stuff. And my granddaughter likes to steal my fabric, so it would be a win-win.
Yay.
Jamie says that her husband goes with her.
Oh, does he, Jamie? See, I don't think my husband would enjoy it. Now, if there is a Lego place that is close to it, I could probably talk him into it because, he likes them Legos.
Yeah, I know my husband well enough to know that it would not be an enjoyable experience for both of us.
Yeah, Zaza,
we
could do that.
If I forced him, he would come and he might enjoy himself.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
don't know. I got him on a wine tour. I got him on a wine tour, and he's been talking about wine. He doesn't drink wine, but now he has a lot of information in his head about wine. So who knows? He might actually enjoy the quilt experience. Maybe I'll bring him to Houston.
Yeah, I really don't think my husband is very supportive of any craft I want to do. He's very supportive of even this YouTube journey that I'm on. Hi, Teresa. He's very supportive of this, but that's about where it goes. You know what I'm saying? He will support me in it, and he lets me do my thing, but I don't think he wants me to do my thing with him hanging around for a day or two and just going, ooh, look at that quilt. Ooh, look at that quilting on that. Can you see
I have offered to teach him how to cut fabric.
Me too.
And I don't know why he's turned his nose up to that.
Although my husband,
I said it's a great hobby that we should do together, and he disagrees with me.
So I've offered that to my husband. I said, you can cut fabric. I mean, he has a good eye for color, but he works in the sign business. So he deals with cutting vinyl all day. He deals with making steel signs, wood signs and everything else. This is would be an extension of him at work.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could talk. They could talk about military stuff. You just have to mind my husband's mouth. I mean, he's a sailor through and through.
This would be and I wonder if some of the conferences and things because I've been to conferences with my husband, and there's stuff for the wives to do while the men are doing their thing. We could have the same thing at all these quilt conferences. Like QuiltCon should have a next door for the husband.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's so many male quilters that we know a lot of male quilters that enjoy this. So
yeah,
maybe it needs to be the significant other
the
people's
spouse. Yeah. Yeah.
Like have a little bar area that has a game going on, or
Yep. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, Teresa, I saw Stitch by Susan this morning did a live who showed the young people's work at QuiltCon. I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about, the Tiffany, but there was some amazing work these young people have been doing.
And isn't it wonderful to see that the craft is not dying, that there's almost a revival in the craft?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
They have a quilt shop in White House, Tennessee. Well, I'm trying to talk my husband because I've never been to a local quilt shop. And I am actually trying to talk my husband into at least spending the night somewhere and just hitting quilt shops. off to some place. I'm thinking about Alabama because they have the casino on the Indian reservation, and he could go and he could play some slots, and then we could come back up and get some more quilt chops. And if he
I love
wins
to
money,
hop.
huh?
I love to quilt shop hop. I did. Mom and I went to Vegas to see Santana, and we did a full day. We did 4 quilt shops while we were there. Oh my God, we had so much fun.
I did not see that, Zaza. I'll have to look that up. 15 years old. It's I love seeing kids create. I love seeing them expand their minds outside of video games. Although some of those kids that do video games, that play video games, they're real intelligent too. Their mind thinks real fast. They can process really, really quickly. If the Hurricanes are playing, they could plan to go to a match. Yeah, they just need but then my husband's kind of antisocial too, so I don't know how he would feel in a room with strangers. It's like, why would I want to go someplace and sit in a room full of strangers while you're off there looking at some string?
We loved Santana, Teresa, both of us. Like, it was amazing. I was a little bit disappointed that Rob Thomas didn't show up and do a surprise guest, but that's okay. I'll survive. But he was amazing. Santana was amazing.
Let's see. Oh, Comic-Con. I don't know if my husband would like Comic-Con, but we could make it a family affair because the boys would like Comic-Con. So my daughter, my granddaughter, and I could go into the quilt part, and my husband could go with the boys, and they could go into Comic-Con, and that would be fun. Yeah, they need an alternate venue for because sometimes there are women or men who do not like to drive that distance, and so somebody will drive them up that way but have no interest in it at all. Oh, Teresa said 3 of her after school kids got to have their blocks displayed at the museum. That is nice. So I'm thinking, I don't know any quilters in my area. There's no quilt shops. The Joann's closed. Hobby Lobby is like almost the fabric section is almost non-existent. But we have old Southern buildings, and there is a courthouse that is beautiful. And I would like to take a picture of that courthouse. Hi, Sean. I would like to take a picture of that courthouse and actually make a quilt and donate it to the visitor center of that
That would be
courthouse.
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about it, and there's not a lot of coloration to it.
There's the Southern Quilters Guild. What's it called? The Gulf Coast Quilters Guild, and it's like Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and they have meetings in all 4 of those states.
The only quilt guild that we have, and you have to go to different counties every month. It rotates between 4 counties, but it's like at 5:00 in the afternoon or 1:00 on a workday afternoon, and it's like, I can't drive 2.5 hours to make a 5:00 meeting.
Yeah. Right,
So
right.
it just doesn't work very well. Yeah, Zaza.
I just joined the Gulf Coast Quilters Guild. I'm looking forward to that. They bring in some pretty
Hi,
big speakers.
Sean.
So you'll have that guild, and then the local guild you're part of. Will you be in 2 guilds now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and our local guild is a part of, I guess, the
Mhm.
bigger guild. we do things together. Like we have a representative from our guild that goes to those meetings.
Sean does. He has a guild online. He created his
Yeah,
own
on Discord.
on Discord. And I never make a meeting, but I get to see all the beautiful things that they're doing. And I think they're doing a swap right now. They do a block of the month or 2 blocks of the month challenge for each other. So Sean has a really good thing, but I don't have a personal. And they weren't
Sean
very.
has a great community.
Hmm?
I said Sean has a great community. He's really good at building community.
He does, and he is perfect for. He likes to spotlight the small channels with 60 people, as well as the bigger channels. Like he had Fallon on today that has who made 50,000 subs. So she's got 50,000 subs right now. So he has a good variety of people. Good.
Yeah, I love it. I'm one of those that has to watch his after the fact, because 7 a.m. on a Saturday, my intentions are always to watch, and then it just so
And
I
you
have
stay
to
in
watch his
bed.
after the fact.
And
Well,
you stay in bed.
you
A couple
gotta,
of times I've caught it live. I've watched it while in bed, but most of the time I sleep through half of it and just catch it later.
but you know
And you
what?
had to set an alarm when you were on his, didn't you?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
But there's a lot of people, like for Deb and I do not stay up late. So there's a lot of people that go on later in the evening for us that I'll never catch. I mean, the chances of me catching a late night live. Oh, she hit 60,000. I thought she hit 50, Rita. The last time I saw it, it was 50. So good for her. Her channel, she does good work. She
Who's
does
that
really
that
good
hit
work.
60?
So be it quotes.
Oh, yeah,
Fallon-
yeah, yeah.
She's
Fallon
in Texas.
and
She's in the Houston area?
I'm not sure.
I think somebody was saying she lives outside of Dallas or something. Somebody in here was saying she lived. Sheila said, "You're afraid of commitment." I'm kind of afraid of commitment too. And I committed that I was going to go on Sean's guild, and I actually signed up to be in the guild. And I don't think I've ever attended one meeting. I'm so bad. It's just at 8:00 at night on a Sunday, and I'm
Yeah,
kind of
that's a bad time.
I'm on my wind down because I have to start work at 6:30 in the morning on Mondays. So near Houston, okay. Okay, Sean said it was 50,000, close to 51,000. And yeah, she'll get to 60. She's just zooming. She is just growing. So interesting. But Amber, did you have anything else you wanted to share? Normally we stop 5 o'clock. So that way
No,
people.
I have enjoyed doing the lives much more than I anticipated I would.
Mhm.
And also I think I'm going to start asking people to join me, because having conversation with other people
Makes it
is,
easier.
yeah, instead of just having to talk the whole time for me, which I really don't mind, but
But it helps to have it helps to have feedback, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's like, are you sleeping out? If not, it's like, are you sleeping out there? Are you paying attention? What are you watching
Right.
besides me? I understand.
Lisa
Yeah.
went live earlier today and I made her go by herself.
I generally do not do a live by myself. I am going to start doing a live by myself. But I generally have somebody on there with me.
Yeah.
I just like company. You know, I mean, I work from home all the time, so I'm not socialized. I'm kind of feral. I
Yeah.
just so I need to be
And
socialized a little bit more.
I think
Hey,
too, it's easy for me to have like because I'm so used I film everything I do. Like, well, not everything, but like if I'm making a video for a quilt that I'm making, I'm usually talking the whole time that I'm making it. And so I
Mhm,
kind of feel like that's what I'm doing in the lives. I'm just
mhm.
sort of talking about random things. And so it hasn't been that difficult. But at the same time, I'd love to have some interaction. So I
yeah.
think Judy out there is somebody that she and I have talked about her coming on.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah, and it's nice. I Deb and Deb I consider like Deb and Mona my sisters, you know, because we think alike and we can be offensive to each other and not like you you know what I'm saying? And it's
yeah,
just sometimes it's nice to have just somebody that you're going to get along with on the panel with you, somebody that you can have conversation.
Familiarity.
And
yeah,
there are days when I'm just grouchy. Like if I take a nap before the Saturday lives, I don't talk very much because I'm
No.
grouchy. I'm not a nice person when I get up from a
yeah.
nap. I'm that
So
cranky
look, Judy said she'll go on with me. Judy, I'm gonna take you up on that. I need to send you because I have your email. I'm gonna send you a link, and this Wednesday we can do it. How's that?
oh yeah, Judy, you know I watch. You know I
Judy's
watch.
so awesome. Every time I am on anybody's live or I'm watching, she's always there.
Hmm. Judy is she's very supportive. Everybody is. They're just very supportive. Judy has been on a couple of our lives on Sunday morning that you're sleeping through, and that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. But Judy has been on, and I'm putting out the invite again. If anybody ever wants to join us on a Sunday morning, so Terry, you get a pass. Um, if anybody ever wants us to join us on a Sunday morning, you just need to email me or I drop the link during it because we like to talk to other people. We get tired of talking to each other sometimes. We don't know what to say except to gossip.
yeah. Judy says that'll give her enough time to do her hair and get some clothes on. That's funny. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have more makeup and my hair is done today more than normal because I am filming a workshop after this.
Oh, are you?
So I don't normally have this much stuff, but when I leave here, I'm going on the other side in my long arm room and I'm filming a workshop.
Well, you look gorgeous to me no matter what. So, I mean,
I have
yeah.
a question for you, Amber.
Do what?
Who's the other Hebert that was in the Quilted Summit?
Oh, Christine, she's from New York.
Is
Okay.
she related to you?
No, no,
Oh, is Judy related to you?
no. Just I know. And so in this part of the world, we pronounce my last name Hebert, the French version of it. And so, but I think I'm the only one of the quilting world that pronounces that way. I think everybody else is Hebert.
So we're just going to, Judy, we're just going to start calling you A Bear. Hey, Judy, A
Yeah.
Bear. I'll make a connection. Deb, did you have anything you wanted to share or talk about or promote or
Nope,
I
I
don't
already showed my stuff.
Deb has been doing a lot of lives on her own. She's been breaking my heart because she's flying the coop. And
She was pushing me out, let me tell you.
Deb is doing some wonderful lives as well. And Amber, she can talk on her lives. She's like 3 hours later, we're still watching her live.
I
So
probably
Man,
should
it's
extend mine. What I've
true.
noticed is that right at like as I'm starting to shut everything down, all of a sudden more people are coming on. So I might
mhm.
try to extend mine and do a little bit longer.
We kind of, you know, depending on what's going on, like there's
Yeah.
three of us, so we take turns. We just rotate on a Saturday. So I just won't do every third Saturday or whatever. And it gives
Oh, okay.
us the opportunity, like so if Deb was on live and she would do most of the talking and watching the chat, and um gives us a break.
Yeah,
But
can you believe they actually let
And
me
so
talk?
someone is asking about my channel. It's The Cheeky Quilters.
so I'm going to drop the link again, and I'm dropping her
Oh,
link.
hey, Lori. Sorry.
Lori's been here for a while. She's been here for a while, and you've just totally ignored her.
Yeah, I have been on my lives lately. I was on twice this week on my own.
I know. And did you ever
You
make
get kind of crazy out there.
so? Yeah. I like the French way to say you're. If you ever watch Giovanna, Giovanna will give you a pronunciation.
Yeah,
she'll
Does
teach
Giovanna have a
she
channel?
keeps us straight on how to
Giovanna's
say
channel?
stuff.
Giovanna, throw your channel in there. Type exclamation be kind. She does a little thing. She does her flood. She does a lot of crafting. Giovanna makes she's a no
Giovanna makes stuff out of trash.
she is a no waste crafter. She makes
Oh,
things.
Giovanna. I love that.
She makes craft out of pieces of leftover thread that you would normally throw
She
away.
makes stuff out of lint.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So she is very much she recycles everything in her sewing room. Nothing goes to waste.
Giovanna, let's get together and do something together because that's my jam. That is my jam for sure.
Yeah, but you guys, yeah, see connections. We are helping you make
Yep.
connections.
And Giovanna's in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Love
She's
it.
from Africa.
Oh, nice. I'll just need to fly over to Italy and we can talk about this.
Yeah, and she does a lot of. She kind of holds her nose when she sees Deb and me and Mona, like scooting little scraps over. We tell her and Joe not to look. It's like, don't look.
Her and Joe, both of them. Don't look.
It's my last name that's pronounced A Bear. My first name is Amber, but my last name is Hebert, like Judy A Bear, but Amber A Bear. Hebert.
Oh, look at there. Giovanna said she'll make you lasagna.
Oh, anything.
But everybody, I'm so glad. It doesn't feel like any time at all. And thank you so much, Amber. You are invited to join us anytime you want. If you get bored,
I had so much fun.
Yeah, I've enjoyed getting to know you and some of your stories. I love your channel. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us. I know it's kind of late on the East Coast. It's almost supper time or getting ready for supper, or yes, Joe's the queen of scraps. But we've enjoyed it. I'm going to say bye. If you're up in the morning, you can join us at 7. No sewing, just gossip and chat and everything else. But we love you and appreciate you. And I'm just going to say bye and end the stream. Bye, everybody.
Bye.